A German soldier raises his rifle, not at the enemy, but at his own foot, and pulls the trigger. It sounds insane, but in one of the deadliest battles in history, this could be the only way to survive. At the Battle of Stalingrad, over 250,000 German troops were trapped, surrounded by Soviet forces with no escape, no supplies, and no hope. Temperatures plunged far below freezing, food ran out, and ammunition dwindled. Soldiers weren't just fighting the enemy, they were fighting starvation, frostbite, and total collapse. And then came the brutal reality. The only way out was by air. But there was a catch. Evacuation planes sent by Nazi Germany were few, unreliable, and reserved almost entirely for the wounded. If you could still stand, you were expected to stay and likely die. That's when desperation took over. Some soldiers made a chilling calculation. A self-inflicted wound might be their only ticket home. A bullet through the foot could mean a place on a plane, instead of a frozen grave in the ruins of the city. But this wasn't a guaranteed escape. Officers were aware of these tactics, and soldiers suspected of injuring themselves could face severe punishment, even execution. Doctors examined wounds carefully, looking for signs of self-infliction. The risk was enormous. You had to injure yourself badly enough to be evacuated, but not so badly that you die from the wound itself. Imagine that moment. The cold, the hunger, the fear, and the decision to pull the trigger on your own body, hoping it saves your life. For many, it didn't work. The airlift failed to keep up with demand, and countless wounded were left behind anyway. By the time the battle ended, the German Sixth Army had been almost completely destroyed. Tens of thousands were dead, and many more were captured. What remained wasn't just a military defeat, it was a human catastrophe. These self-inflicted wounds weren't acts of cowardice. They were acts of desperation from soldiers pushed beyond their limits, trapped in a situation where survival meant making an unthinkable choice. And in the frozen hell of Stalingrad, that choice sometimes came down to one question. Would you rather face the enemy or your own gun?